what suggestions can you give to help our parents and friends bring out the genius in autistic children? Because it is more, there's more of them now. I don't know why. I happen to have 3 or 4 friends that have autistic children, and I know there are so many of them out there in the world now, but they're not getting the kind of support that they should get, either because of ignorance, because of the way many of us are brought up. And I know that you have been doing near miraculous work with autistic children all over the world. So there is no way you come on my show and I will not ask this one. You know that is coming. So how can we help autistic children? And what do you have for their parents that will help them to be better parents to their children? Go for it, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know whether you know, I'm autistic. When I went to school, the teachers wrote that I'm autistic and that I cannot learn. So when I got home, I told my mother, so do you know that I cannot learn? I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know I was looking for trouble. So my mother heard that. My mother called her mother and called my grandparents for reinforcement. So when my grandmother came and said, oh, they said you can't learn. I said, yes, so they said I can't learn. I'm sorry. She said, okay. When you took your first step, when you were walking, did you fall or were you able to walk straight? I said, no, I fell. I said, what happened to you? I said, I got up again. And then I fell and I got up again. I said, that is it, my son. If the first time you don't get any concept right, it just means you repeat the learning for yourself. You try a different way to learn it. I never knew that there was a Latin saying, which translates roughly to English, that repetition is the mother of learning. So if it's your desire to learn a skill today, and you read or you train in that skill, if you don't get it right the first time, you're just normal. Go again the second time, go again the third time. Another thing they did for me was this instrument, and I keep telling you this. Our so-called mental health issues today, including ADHD, all the deficit that we have is at the neurology level, is at the neural network. Can I beg all the parents of autistic children, just email me. I will send the long list of playlist of music. If you email me music in the morning, first thing in the morning, music last thing at night, you will see what will happen to that same child that you said did not have patience to sit for 5 minutes or was not socially aware of everything around. Because there are different frequencies that is able to connect with their neurosensory dispositions. If you follow me on Twitter, you will have seen me. The Speaker of the House in the United Kingdom came down to our autism conference at the Excel. Go and check it, just check it, and I'm able to give you details of that. So autism is not a disease, it's a gift. If you see it as a disease, you will treat it as a disease, you will denigrate the person, and the person will feel ill. If you see it as a gift, you will celebrate it. And whatever you celebrate elevates. Whatever you celebrate, you elevate. The little that that person can do, the person will do even more and more and more. So don't you ever think that the autistic child is mad, because this is the lie they tell everybody. That is a mental case, it's a mental name, it's a small boy's madness. This is the silly thing they have.
They say it's village. They say a village problem. and then even the parents will start becoming embarrassed to show off their kids. Please preach it, Prof. Please go ahead.
Richard Branson is autistic. All of us have so-called short attention span.
Wow.
The task is repetitive and boring and predictive. When the task is non-representative, unknown, indeterminate, guess what we'll do? Out of curiosity, we hold our attention and they will pursue it. So determine there is something that autistic child likes. If he's drawing, please buy him pencil, buy him paper. Let him draw. If he's singing, then let the person sing. If he's not talking, he's watching, let him watch. The pace of development is different. So I'll award all the parents a PhD in patience. I'm awarding all of you now a PhD in patience. Do not compare that child with the second child or the third child or the other children. If you compare, then you get frustrated because the pace of journey is different. So when you say the word autistic children, that word is wrong. It's autistic child because each child is an individual. When you say children, it's a collective noun that suggests that all 6-year-olds do this, all 7-year-olds do this, all 8-year-olds do this, all 9-year-olds do this. That's why I'm giving you a bag, big bag now, full of patience. And I'm ready to interact with your son or daughter that they say is autistic. I will interact with them. After 1 hour, you will not believe it. I'm talking of online interaction. I will ask them questions, whether they reply vocally or they reply with signs or they don't reply at all. I know what to do. So please don't treat it as a disease. That is the last thing. Don't treat it as a disease. You are not mute. You are not mute.
Yeah, that brings me to my ask before we move out of from this subject. I know you have promised before in an event that I was in, and some of the mothers, believe me or not, they have been asking me, will you still be willing to headline a conference, maybe a one-day conference on autistic children for the parents, okay? Something like decoding the genius of autism is what I have in my mind, bringing out the genius in our autistic and neurodivergent children, where you can address, it will be a full day conference. Me and you will talk behind and come up with the agenda for the day, where we can then promote. It will be a free event. That's my own little way of being able to help my friends who I know have autistic children, and to also help many parents who are dealing with this. We will promote it, and it will be a Zoom conference. And then at the end of it, before we end, you will give me a link for those who want to book a one-on-one call with you to talk specifically about their kids. Then that one, of course, they know that locking your time down and to talk to their children will cost a little. I'm sure most of them will not mind, because if they listen to this conference and they see so many ways they can help their children, it will make sense for them to then try to engage you, because you've done this for thousands of kids all over the world. To me, it is important. And then that conference, I will record it, and then we can then put it out there for as many parents as possible to even send it to hospitals or stuff where autistic children might be visiting. Because for me, this is the little we can do for some of these parents. Like you said, you give them PhD in patience. I just bless God. I don't know how I would have handled it. I'm not a patient person at all. Even with those who don't have autism, how will I be able to deal? I have asked myself. So I watch them and I see many times the patience they execute, and they are still cheerful. I don't think I will still be happy if I have to deal with a child for 8 hours because I don't know what to do. Yes. So, conference, I need you. I want to try to do it in the next 30 days. I will pick a date with you.
Okay.
Because you will be the featured trainer. I have a couple more guys who also talk about helping neurodivergent and autistic children. If I Hot Potter the Third is also one of those. Incidentally, He's supposed to be coming on later tonight, but mostly for AI and stuff. But the idea is you will be the primary person that I'm going to use to promote that event. So I want to ask again, should I go ahead and start putting it together? Will you be there for me to do it? Because I don't know anything about this. I'm just going to be the host, and you will do your thing. How about that, sir?
It is my responsibility to tell my story, because if for autistic children, if you have a lone parent, the therapy that they give you in the hospital is different. So when I say I give the parents PhD, the parents must go and get grandparents or adopt grandparents if their grandparents are no more, because you need about 2 or 3 layers of generations, because that patience is very thin for the first generation parents, but it's thicker for the grandparents, because the grandparents have time to explain and wait, and then wait and explain and wait and explain and reinforce. But if you are dealing with an urban parent in London, in DC, in Lagos, in Lusaka or Johannesburg, what happens is that because of the pressure of time, the implementation is botched. But if you are dealing with a parent that has their grandparents living with them, or the child visiting the grandparents at weekends, or the child having access to a grandparent figure in the church, in the mosque, in the synagogue, you will see that that same child, when he's looking forward to one weekend, you will be surprised. So, you say, grandma is coming, grandma is coming. This is a child, Monday through to Thursday, was not excited. On Friday, because he knows that Saturday, Sunday is going to be with grandma or grandparents, the child is excited. When the result comes of the test in the class, the child hides it from the parent that is living with and keeps it until weekend to give the grandparent. Because the child knows that the grandparent will appreciate the progress he has made compared to the parent. And then they ask the child, say, excuse me, we were in this house together. Why did you do this? Oh, no. You were too busy. The child is smart. He knows that you're too busy. So he gave it to the grandparent. And when the grandparent then phoned the parent up to say, oh, congratulations, do you know that John did it? John? He was in the house. He didn't tell us. Did the school write it to you? Say no. It was John that brought the result to me in a sealed envelope. So he now has a separate confidence in. This is the interconnection. That's why I keep saying that it's a gift to be celebrated. It's not a pathology to be treated.
It's a good to be celebrated, not a pathology to be treated. Awesome. I wish all of us, we know that all of us, even those of us who have autistic children, we will understand that and be able to be much more receptive and helpful. I will put that conference together because I've had some of my friends who had me say that at the workshop. A couple of them have asked me, when is it going to happen? So I'll liaise with you behind the scenes. We agree on a comfortable date for you. It's going to be an all-day conference so that we can promote it and get as many of the parents there. And then we will record it. And it will be something that we'll put out there either for small amount of money or even free, depending on how you want to pursue that after. I'm more interested in getting this thing that you know, because the more this knowledge is spread, the more people are helped. So to me, that is very paramount for me. So that other people can take what you are saying, go organize their own conference, whether paid or free, I don't care. The important thing is keep spreading the idea to as many people as possible. Because I've never had anybody speak about autism like you, to be honest with you. I've been in a few of them, okay, maybe by accident, or maybe I went because a friend was there. Some of the stuff that you teach, I've not had it. And I feel that many of them need to be very much aware of this, including their friends, because not just the parents, if their friends are also aware of some of these strategies to bring, when I'm promoting, I'm going to ask them to bring their friends, bring their grandparents, bring whatever, anybody having contact with their child. It helps everybody so that all of us can then work together the way Africa works. It takes a village so that when somebody is also educated, even if the parent is not there, they know what to do, rather than feeling helpless and getting confused like I used to get. I'm not going to lie. I feel helpless. I want to help, but I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh my God. But now if I were to attend that training, now I have a better understanding. That way I can be a better friend to my friends. All right, guys, it's a promise. Prof has committed. It is coming. You guys know I love conferences. I'm going to put it together, and you guys are going to hear about it over the next 30 days. Me and you are going to fix a date, and we're going to make sure we give it enough publicity to make sure enough people that need to be there are going to be there. It's going to be on Zoom. Okay.